Hello and welcome back to the Southside Alumni Interview Association. I want to say thank you so much, Ms. Katherine Sheppard, class of 2015, in our fourth installment. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Truesdale.
So here's how it's going to work. We have a number of questions that are Southside related, and at the end, if you'd like to add anything, it's perfectly up to you.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Sheppard, where did you live while attending Southside? Did you have any siblings that went to South, which we know the answer to already?
Yeah, so we lived in the Oakdale neighborhood, and my older brother, Thomas Sheppard, was here while I was here. He was a senior when I was a freshman, so that wasn't too bad.
And you told me just a few minutes ago that you didn't really have a name. You were a young Shep.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes, I was young Shep for about a year.
Stole your identity a little bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, and it was exact opposite for me. My sister was younger, but I was always Emily's brother, not Mark.
Okay.
So I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad when somebody younger is more popular than you. So yeah, it feels like though you're jovial enough to be more popular than him. So
and that's how I perceive it.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it. Okay. What sort of memories or incidents do you have as you came and went from Southside? Many of our population is very mobile and they walk a lot. It's pretty remarkable. We have very few bus riders. What neighborhoods did you pass? How was the journey here? How did that go?
So I, as a freshman and sophomore, always walked home from school with a big gang of kids, and we would always take Rudisill just down to Fairfield, and then once we got to Fairfield, we would all split ways.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we would go over Rudisill and over into like the Old Mill neighborhood over there, and then sometimes we would just stay on our side of Oakdale and hang out, but it was always whose house we go into after school today and move around that way.
It's all in the gang. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I really respect the fact that even though this neighborhood's very safe, I think that you walk with a group.
Yeah.
And I think that's very wise. Yeah. If I could insert my opinion in there. Obviously, not a lot of businesses have changed since the time you graduated.
No,
being
4
as
years,
young,
pretty much the same.
Yeah, so I'll probably skip that. What teachers do you remember at South and why?
So the DTs were a staple here. Both of them were still here. Miss Lightning who was an English teacher. She had been here for quite a few years before me. Miss Albright, she was here.
Yeah.
And Ron Holmes was definitely like the teacher who had transcended quite a while. And both Thomas and I got to work with him pretty closely with National Honor Society and Key Club, and that was a pretty special experience just to work with him for quite a while.
Yeah, he was a staple, and as I told your brother, I was also blessed and lucky to have him and get to know him over the years. So, what clubs or activities did you participate in?
I did quite a few. For sports, I did basketball, volleyball, tennis, and golf. And then I was the president of the Key Club, and then I was in Section K. Me and a buddy led that senior year, and then also student council. And so that was fun. It was very busy, but it was fun.
Yeah, what's really remarkable about you and your brother, again, if I could insert my opinion, is it sounds like it wasn't because you were forced to do these things. You had this innate desire to be included.
Yeah.
It's just remarkable. Your brother did at least like half a dozen sports, and sometimes at the same time. It felt like, and it sounds like you also were very, very involved. I think that might have, shaped your identity.
We definitely wanted to be very included in Southside culture, just because our family went to Southside. Our father and our uncles went here, and then our great grandmother was in like the second graduating class.
Wow.
And so it was, Southside has deep roots in our family for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Inspiration from Southside teachers or any particular individual or adult that really kind of inspired you?
Yeah, so two teachers who unfortunately aren't here anymore are the reason I'm teaching now. The French teacher, Madame Walborn, Lisa Walborn, she was here when I was, and she is honestly the reason why I went into language education. And then Emily Oberlin, who's now over at New Tech, she and I were very close while she was here, and she was kind of like my mentor, and I would like keep all my stuff in her room, and we'd have just chats, and so those two were definitely what pushed me to become what I am right now, and I appreciate that.
And it's cool to hear that name because I don't feel too old. I mean, she my awesome interviewee here is quite a bit younger than me, but I had Miss Walborn as well.
Okay.
And I can vouch for the fact that she was just a wonderful teacher. And I actually taught French for a little while in high school.
Really?
Yeah, as a long-term sub. So it's all in the family here at Southside. What has your career path been? Obviously, it's not been too long. It's 2020 here, and it's 2015 when you graduated. But what was your path like? Was it a clear trajectory to come back and teach? Was there an idea or a time when you thought, this is not what I want to do?
So obviously it is just my first year teaching. But I did, at the same time, I applied to Southside. I applied to teach abroad, actually. And I got both positions, and it was really a toss-up. Like, do I want to teach abroad and teach English in a French-speaking country, or do I really want to just start my career and set my roots? And I think if it was anywhere but Southside, I would have gone. But because it was at Southside, I knew, this is where I wanted to be. This is the community that I want to impact. And I was like, let's just do it. Yeah,
well said. And I can tell you for a fact that we're lucky to have you. And I don't talk to many ELL students, but they seem to really adore having you.
I hope so.
They do. And we appreciate that you chose to stay here in the United States instead of going abroad. I'm sure it was a hard decision, but thank you for making that. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about South before we wrap this interview up today?
Just it's a great place to be. Sometimes it doesn't get the reputation that it deserves. And being a student and now a teacher, I think it holds up to someone who's been in the community. It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and there's not a dull day, but
Never.
I wouldn't want to be somewhere else.
Well said, ma'am. Miss Katherine Sheppard, class of 2015, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.